Hey there YouTube, welcome back to the shop. Dr. Yash here. So as you can see what I have in my hand, this is a carburetor slide for a CV style carburetor that goes on the Shadow Operation Major Rust Bucket. So I had replaced a whole slide assembly on one of the carbs when I put the bike together, but then I was in the carbs the other day doing some work, found a torn diaphragm, as you often will with the CV carbs. Eventually this rubber breaks down and tears, and then you don't have constant velocity anymore. It no longer CVs. It just has the throttle butterfly, and this slide just sits down in there and not moving. So I'm pretty surprised the bike ran as well as it did, knowing that one carburetor wasn't really doing much of anything. I don't know how it ran on both cylinders, to be completely honest, but it needed a diaphragm put in it. So here we have a new diaphragm on this slide. So some of the instructions I've seen online said to you got two different ways people are doing it. They're cutting these plastic rings off, and then they have a glue-on diaphragm, which I don't personally like the idea of that. That sounds like a hack. It doesn't sound like a proper repair to me. Then you have the other ones, like in the case of this one, where it's an OEM style diaphragm that uses the existing plastic rings. Well, the problem is you can't remove this bottom ring because once it's pushed on here, it snaps into place. But you can pull these diaphragms off and you can replace them. I just did it. So here's how I did it. On one of these, where it has these smaller diameter rings that are tighter, and it has a lip that sits inside between them instead of being more flat, it's a little bit trickier than what you see on some of these other ones where it has a wider sealing surface. Those look like they would actually be a lot simpler to do, and the instructions they gave for those was not working properly in my case. So I had to get creative. So what I ended up doing was doing the same soapy water, spray it down with soapy water, stretch it, because this is actually pretty stretchy, pretty tough rubber when it's new. So you can work with it. You can put a decent amount of stretch on this and not hurt it. So basically you stretch it across these rings, and then what I did is actually take excuse the camera angle, I'm kind of working one-handed over here. So I took you can see the ring here in the diaphragm. I actually took the back side of a spark plug gap tool, and because it's so blunt, I was able to kind of, while pulling pressure on the rubber diaphragm, I was able to work it in. Of course, once you get towards the end, you have this like little loop sticking up, so you have to, you have enough movement. You have to basically stretch the rubber and work it around until that loop is sitting about flat with the ring, and then push it in. And then you just kind of massage everything around to get even tension on it, and then you can see it's clocked pretty much where it needs to be. The diaphragm and the rings do rotate independent of the slide a little bit, so don't be too concerned about if that tab is clocked correctly with these holes or not, because you can adjust that when you go to put the carb back together. So that's something to consider there. You do want this facing backwards because you're that's kind of a cutout for your throttle blade. I'm pretty sure that's how that works on this one. That's so your throttle blade doesn't hit. But either way, this one's done. You could also, I've heard of people installing these like you would a windshield by using a piece of string, and that would work well too. I had some landscape string and I don't know where the roll went, so I just I used that gapping tool. But next time I do it, I'll probably try to use the string. But either way, I think this went well. This is a lot cheaper than replacing the slides, and you can just order a pack of 4 of these things pretty cheap. And I only need 2, but you can get multi-packs of them, and they fit a bunch of different carbs, more so than the slides do. So you can actually, these are slightly more universal than the slides themselves are. So it's easy to get the diaphragms. You get them all day on eBay and Amazon for cheap. So, and so. Don't get too mad about having CV carbs. They're not that bad. You just got to understand how they work and how to work on them. So once you get it figured out, you'll like them. At least I do. So anyways, hopefully that's helpful to you. And Like, comment, subscribe, you know the deal. And I'll just give you this quick video here, but until next time, I'll see you later.